Archangel Michael says, "This message was blocked 3 times, but God just said, let them see it now. What you're about to open was meant only for you. What you're about to open was meant only for you." There are no accidents in the kingdom of God. What you are reading has reached you for a reason. Through delays, doubts, and unseen battles, this message has made its way to your heart because it carries something sacred, something God Himself reserved for your soul alone. Type Amen if you believe this message is for you. Sometimes, the world tries to silence what the Spirit is preparing. The noise of fear, pain, and confusion rises, trying to drown out the gentle calling of God's voice. But here you are, reading these words, not by chance but by divine appointment. And as the winds howl and the storms threaten to pull you under, a quiet truth remains unshaken: God's love has never once let go of you. There are moments in life when everything feels delayed, denied, or broken. You pray, you wait, you hope. And nothing happens. The door stays shut. The answer doesn't come. The healing doesn't arrive. The job is lost. The relationship ends. The days stretch into weeks, and the weeks into months. You begin to wonder if heaven heard your voice at all. But beloved, what if I told you that what seemed like silence was God's way of protecting the most precious part of your story? What if He delayed it to prepare it perfectly for you? The journey through the waiting is never wasted. In fact, it's in the waiting that heaven does its deepest work. The roots of your faith grow not when everything is flourishing, but when everything is quiet, when the sky is dark and the answers seem far. That's where trust becomes real. That's where hope is born. And that's where the Holy Spirit draws nearest, holding your heart when nothing else can. You are not forgotten. The delay was not a denial. The battle was not your ending. What was meant for harm, what the enemy tried to keep hidden, what fear tried to bury, God is about to reveal in the fullness of time. And that time is not far. He has spoken, let them see it now. The gate is opening. The light is breaking through. You may not understand the path that brought you here, but soon you will understand why it had to be this way. God is not withholding. He is preparing. Type 1111 if you trust in God's timing. There's something sacred in the struggles that nobody else sees. When you cry alone in the quiet, when you lift prayers with trembling hands, when you still choose to praise even with a weary heart, heaven sees. Heaven records every tear, every silent prayer, every moment of surrender. Nothing has gone unnoticed. And nothing is wasted in God's hands. There are chapters being written in your story right now that only eternity will fully explain. There are things you've endured that didn't make sense, and still don't, but one day, the pieces will come together. Not because life will suddenly become perfect, but because God's grace will make all things beautiful in their time. You're walking a road that leads somewhere holy, even if the steps feel heavy now. The struggles you've faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. Let your soul rest tonight in this truth: you are not too late, you are not behind, and you have not missed what was meant for you. Heaven has held your miracle in its hands through every storm. And when it arrives, when that door swings open, you will see that it was not luck or coincidence. It was the hand of God, moving mountains for you, one quiet miracle at a time. Your faith has power even when it feels small. Your belief still matters even when you feel broken. What you're building in the dark, God will bring into the light. And what's meant for you will come, not through force, but through faith. Stay close to Jesus. He knows the way. He is the way. Keep walking, even when your knees shake. Keep praying, even when the words come slow. Keep trusting, even when the night is long. Because somewhere ahead, God has prepared a place only you can reach, a place He blocked 3 times from being taken too soon. Because He was saving it for you. You are not here by accident. You are seen, loved, and chosen. And this message? It reached you at exactly the right moment. Let that truth sink in, deeper than doubt, louder than fear. Let it breathe peace into the corners of your soul that forgot how to rest. Because what is opening now has your name on it, written by the hand of God Himself. Type 222 to claim what God has set apart for your heart. Sometimes, the things we waited for the longest are the very things God had to gently shape with His own hands. You might have thought you were being forgotten, passed over, or overlooked. But what really happened was this: the promise wasn't stolen, it was being strengthened. Your name was being whispered over in heaven, not lost in the wind but carried by the breath of angels to a future only God could prepare. And now, piece by piece, the path is clearing. The cloud is lifting. The thing you've cried over, the miracle you've asked for with trembling faith, is beginning to form. God doesn't move on our clock. He moves on eternity's rhythm, measured not by the seconds of our days but by the readiness of our souls. And sometimes, we have to walk through lonely roads, uphill battles, and silent nights so that when the blessing comes, we no longer doubt who sent it. It won't be mistaken for good fortune or coincidence. It will be recognized as the undeniable hand of God, carrying you through what should have broken you, lifting you from what once buried you, and placing you gently into the very thing you once feared would never arrive. There's healing flowing toward your heart in quiet, unseen ways. Not every miracle comes wrapped in lightning and thunder. Some come softly, like a sunrise touching the edge of your sorrow, reminding you that God never left you in the dark. He was always nearby, even in the silence. Even when the prayers echoed back empty. Even when your strength was failing, and your hope was dim. He was there, holding it all. Waiting with you. Crying with you. Loving you far beyond what you could ever imagine. Type 555 if you trust Jesus even when the road feels long. There is a beauty in trusting God when there is no evidence yet. When the answer hasn't come, but your heart chooses to believe anyway. That kind of faith changes things. It shifts the atmosphere. It moves the heavens. It invites angels to surround you. And more than anything, it touches the heart of your Father. Because He knows how hard it is to believe in the dark. And every time you choose faith over fear, praise over panic, and prayer over despair, you are planting seeds that heaven will water in ways you cannot yet see. The enemy wanted to silence your voice. He tried to shut the door before you could step through it. But he forgot one thing: God always finishes what he starts. And what he started in you, no force can undo. This isn't just about blessings or answered prayers. This is about becoming who you were always meant to be, in the hands of the one who created your soul before the beginning of time. The struggles you've walked through have shaped your compassion. The heartbreaks have softened your heart to others who are hurting. The losses have taught you to treasure small things. And the waiting, oh, the waiting, has brought your spirit into a deeper place of surrender, where peace doesn't depend on circumstances but on closeness to God. You've grown in ways no one sees. You've prayed prayers no one knows. You've worshipped when you had every reason to give up. And because of that, something is being born in you that no one can take away. Not just a blessing, but a strength. Not just a breakthrough, but a testimony. Something eternal. Heaven sees what you've endured. God knows how tired your heart has been. But he also sees the courage you've shown by choosing to wake up each day and believe again, even when nothing changed. That courage has not gone unnoticed. That faith has not been wasted. The angels have carried your name across the sky more times than you can imagine. And right now, they're preparing the way for something new, something that will shift the weight off your shoulders and place peace into your bones. There's a door opening that only God can open. No man can block it. No fear can close it. And no lie can stop what God has destined to happen in your life. It's not the kind of door that looks flashy or loud. It's the kind that brings quiet joy. The kind that brings you back to yourself, to your purpose, and most of all, back to God. This is not the end. It never was. The pages of your story are still being written by the hand of the author who never forgets a single detail. And when you finally step into what he's been preparing for you all along, it will feel like coming home. Everything will make sense. The blocked paths. The broken places. The unanswered prayers. They will all fall into place. Not because the past was perfect, but because God makes all things new, even the pieces we thought were too shattered to ever fit again. This isn't just words on a page. This is the whisper of the Spirit, sent through every battle, wrapped in divine timing, arriving when your soul was ready to be reminded, you are not forgotten, and you never were. Type yes to affirm that this message was sent for your spirit to receive today. You've made it through things that others would never understand. You've smiled through pain, kept walking when the road was empty, and chosen love when it would have been easier to close your heart. God has seen every single moment, even the ones you tried to hide from the world. And now, he's making it clear. You were never walking alone. Even when the road was silent, his angels were there, surrounding you with the strength you didn't know you had. The battle wasn't in vain. The waiting wasn't wasted. Every tear, every ache, every unanswered prayer was held in the hands of the one who carries all things. There's a softness in your heart that came from the storms. A deeper compassion that grew out of the pain. A quiet strength that was shaped not in moments of ease, but in the fire of endurance. That's not weakness. That's grace. That's God's craftsmanship in your life. He didn't just pull you through, He's been molding you, gently and lovingly, into someone whose faith is unshakable, not because everything went right, but because even when it went wrong, you didn't let go of Him. The enemy thought silence would break you. He thought blocked doors and long nights would make you stop believing. But you didn't stop. You kept praying. You kept hoping. You kept showing up. And now, heaven is honoring that. The delay was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare something far more beautiful than what you thought you lost. God didn't let it happen back then because He knew what you couldn't see. He was building something greater. And now, He says, let them see it now. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. You are about to witness why the waiting was so long. You are about to understand why the doors were shut, why the detours happened, and why certain people had to leave. You'll see that every delay protected you, every silence matured you, and every broken moment brought you closer to the heart of Christ. What God has for you now isn't just a return to what was lost, it's a redemption that surpasses anything you had imagined. It's the kind of blessing that carries His fingerprints so clearly that no one will be able to deny who brought it to you. Type 1919 to receive what God has been preparing behind the scenes for your life. You might feel tired. You might feel like you've been faithful for so long with little to show. But what you don't see is how much has shifted in the spiritual realm because of your faithfulness. You don't see the angels dispatched because of your prayers. You don't see the battles won on your behalf, the ones you never even knew were happening. You just kept trusting, and that, beloved, was more powerful than you know. Jesus never promised a life free from suffering, but He did promise He would never leave us in it. And true to His word, He has walked beside you in every valley. He didn't rush you through the pain. He sat with you in it. He let you cry. He let you feel. And then, when the time was right, He began lifting you again. Not through force, but through love. Not through pressure, but through promise. He knows the way you take, and when He is finished, you will come forth not broken, but refined. This is the turning point in your story. Not because your circumstances have suddenly changed, but because your spirit is now seeing what it couldn't see before. You're no longer waiting with fear, you're waiting with assurance. You know the one who holds your future. You trust the one who holds your heart. And even in uncertainty, you know this: He who promised is faithful. He will not fail you now. There is peace ahead. There is healing rising. There is restoration being prepared with your name etched into it. And though others may not see it yet, you will begin to feel it. You'll feel the weight lifting, the fog clearing, the hope returning. And it won't be because everything outside you changed. It will be because something inside you finally did. You chose to believe that you are worthy of good things again. That God's love is still stronger than the losses. That Jesus still redeems every broken moment. There is no shame in needing time to heal. There is no guilt in feeling weak. What matters is that you kept showing up. That you didn't let the dark days define you. That somewhere deep down, even when your voice couldn't speak it, your soul kept whispering, God is still good. And He is. He always will be. And now, He's making all things new. The gift that's coming into your life isn't just a new season. It's a divine appointment. It's a reminder that God's promises are not fiction, they are foundations. You can stand on them. You can rest in them. You can trust them, even when the ground beneath your feet shakes. Because what God starts, He always completes. And what was meant for you cannot be lost, not when it's been held in His hands all along. You're going to laugh again. You're going to breathe easier. You're going to feel safe. And not because life became perfect, but because you finally realized that no matter what comes, God is with you. You are never alone. You are never without purpose. And you are never outside of His reach. Type 666 if you trust Jesus with the story you're still walking through. There are moments in life that stretch us so thin, we feel we might break under the weight of it all. The loss of someone we loved, the dreams that faded too soon, the prayers that seemed to vanish into the silence. You've known those moments. You've lived through days that felt empty and long nights where your soul cried for answers. But somehow, even in the absence of what you were hoping for, you didn't walk away from your faith. You stayed. You waited. You whispered His name through your tears. And that has meant more to heaven than you'll ever know. God doesn't rush healing. He doesn't hurry wholeness. He takes His time with you because what He's building isn't fragile, it's eternal. And even when you thought nothing was changing, everything was. Your faith has become deeper. Your heart has become softer. Your vision has become clearer. What broke you yesterday is becoming the very soil where tomorrow's miracles will grow. You were never forgotten in the delay. You were being shaped for something more. There is something sacred about surviving what tried to destroy your joy. There is something holy about choosing peace when everything in your world feels uncertain. God sees it. He honors it. The quiet strength that no one else notices. Heaven celebrates it. The battles you never speak of. Angels were fighting alongside you. The nights you wanted to give up but didn't. Jesus was there, holding your soul steady while the storm passed. The breakthrough that is coming is not just about restoration, it's about transformation. You're not going back to what was. You're stepping into something greater, something wiser, something gentler and more beautiful. You'll carry the lessons, not the wounds. You'll carry the wisdom, not the weight. You'll walk forward not as someone who barely made it, but as someone who rose, through the ashes, through the silence, through the uncertainty, and found God still holding you. Type 1212 if you walk by faith, even when the path is unclear. A mysterious 9-word prayer once sealed inside a private government vault is now resurfacing, and people everywhere are seeing financial breakthroughs overnight. Experts say it triggers a long silent part of the human brain responsible for abundance and wealth attraction. It takes less than 30 seconds to repeat, yet it's turning struggle into prosperity. Thousands are reporting cleared loans, sudden cash inflows, and unexpected blessings. Click the link in the description and comments before this secret disappears again. So many times, you've asked God why. Why the pain? Why the waiting? Why the silence? Why did it have to be this hard? And while some answers may take a lifetime to fully understand, there's one truth that stands clear even now: He never stopped loving you. Not for one moment. Not when you doubted. Not when you stumbled. Not when you felt too weak to pray. His love remained, steady and unchanging, like the anchor in the storm. You may not feel strong, but your faith has moved mountains. You may not see it yet, but the heavens have shifted because you chose to believe. You chose to forgive, to try again, to breathe when it hurt, to lift your hands in worship when all you wanted was to hide. And because of that, you are not the same. You are stronger, not in the way the world sees strength, but in the quiet power of someone who has walked with God through the fire and still trusts His heart. Healing doesn't always look like a sudden miracle. Sometimes it's the slow return of peace. Sometimes it's waking up and realizing you're not as afraid anymore. Sometimes it's the way your tears stop falling so quickly, and your laughter comes more freely. That is healing too. That is grace unfolding. And that is God at work, even when you can't see Him. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too far gone. You are not too late. You are beloved, held, and chosen. And the story that's still being written through your life will not end in loss. It will end in glory. It will end with a testimony that speaks not only of what you went through, but of how God brought you through it. He's opening doors now that you never knew existed. He's sending people who will remind you that kindness still lives in this world. He's awakening joy in you that felt buried. This isn't just about receiving a blessing. It's about realizing you were the blessing all along: your life, your voice, your presence in the world. You are a reflection of His love, and your life carries light even on the days you can't feel it. So hold on. Stay faithful. Keep showing up to your own life. There is more ahead than what you've lost. There is more grace than what you've missed. And there is more purpose than what you've seen. You are not here to merely survive. You are here to shine, to show the world what it means to rise again, to walk by faith, to love like Jesus even after you've been hurt. Let go of the weight that was never yours to carry. Give God the burden that's been exhausting your spirit. He's not asking you to figure everything out. He's just asking you to trust that He already has. Lean into Him. Rest. Breathe. The worst is behind you. The best is not just coming, it's already being prepared. You've come far, even though the road tried to convince you otherwise. You've held on when you had every reason to let go. And now, the promise that was sealed for your future is drawing near. Type 2323 if your heart believes something holy is shifting in your life right now. You may not have noticed it at first, but God has been healing you quietly through the days you thought were wasted. Each tear you cried softened the soil of your soul. Each prayer you whispered, though it felt weak, opened a door that allowed more light in. And while you were wondering if anything would ever change, the Spirit of God was working in silence, laying the foundation for everything that is about to rise from the ashes. This season is not about getting back what you lost. It's about receiving what was always yours, but had to be delayed for your protection. God saw the road ahead. He knew what needed to leave, who needed to walk away, and what needed to be reshaped so that you would be ready for something purer, stronger, and more lasting. He wasn't punishing you by withholding. He was preparing you by shielding. And now, what is being released is wrapped in purpose. It will not fall apart. It will not harm you. It will bring life, not confusion. Peace, not chaos. Joy, not fear. You are walking into a place that will feel like restoration, but it's actually much more than that. It is rebirth. It is healing from the deepest part of who you are. And the beauty of it is that you won't have to chase it. You won't have to force anything. What's meant for you now will meet you where your heart is open. Because the doors God opens are not hard to walk through, they welcome you with peace that confirms, this is right. This is safe. This is what I've been waiting for. Type Amen if you believe God is making all things new in your life. The enemy tried to confuse you. Tried to convince you that silence meant abandonment, and that delays meant rejection. But God has been with you in every pause. Every quiet moment was an invitation to draw near, to let go of control, and to allow Him to carry the burden that was never meant to rest on your shoulders. You may not have had answers, but you've had His presence, and that has always been enough to carry you. You've walked through valleys where it felt like no one could find you. Places where your prayers sounded like echoes, and your heart felt like it was hanging by a thread. But in those hidden places, you were being formed. Not for the approval of others. Not for outward success. But for something deeper, intimacy with God. And that intimacy is now bearing fruit. The fruit of endurance. The fruit of a peace that can't be explained. The fruit of knowing that even if the world forgets you, your name is carved into the hands of the one who holds eternity. Buried deep in forgotten archives, a 9-word phrase once hidden from the public is now transforming ordinary lives. Neuroscientists call it a wealth frequency activator, because it awakens a part of the brain that naturally draws prosperity. It takes just seconds to speak, but the change can last a lifetime. People are waking up debt-free and financially secure. The page could vanish at any moment. Click the link before it's gone for good. There is a stillness coming to your soul. Not because life suddenly becomes easy, but because you're learning to trust the shepherd even when the path doesn't make sense. You're learning that it's okay not to have all the answers. You're learning to live with open hands, knowing that whatever He gives is good, and whatever He takes was never meant to stay. That kind of surrender is powerful. That kind of faith changes lives. The pain you endured was not pointless. The wounds you carry are not marks of failure, they are proof of survival. And the story that's emerging from your life now will carry healing for others. People will look at you and not see the struggle, but the grace that sustained you. They'll feel hope just by being around you. Because what you carry now is not bitterness. It's not regret. It's light. It's love. It's Jesus shining through every crack that life once tried to break open. The path ahead may still have challenges, but you are not who you used to be. You are braver. You are wiser. You are softer in the right ways and stronger in the ones that matter. And God is not finished. Not even close. There is more joy ahead. More peace. More quiet mornings where you wake up and feel whole again. More moments where you realize you're not afraid anymore. That's the miracle. That's what healing looks like. And it's already begun. You didn't miss what was meant for you. Even the opportunities that seemed lost will be restored in ways that are better than what you imagined. Even the prayers you stopped praying are still alive in God's heart. He remembers. He always remembers. And now, He's moving. Not in a rush, not with noise, but with the quiet strength of love that doesn't fail. This is not the same chapter. This is not a repeat of the past. This is new. It smells like grace. It sounds like peace. It feels like freedom. And all of it is for you, not because you earned it, but because you are loved by a God who never stopped seeing you, even when you felt invisible. Who never stopped believing in you, even when you doubted yourself. Who never gave up, even when the whole world told you to walk away. The message that was blocked 3 times has now reached your hands because God wanted to remind you of what you carry. Not just the weight of the past, but the promise of the future. Not just the pain you felt, but the glory that's coming. Not just the tears, but the joy that will follow. You may have felt the ache of delay, the sting of silence, the weight of wondering when things would finally shift. But through it all, God was never absent. He was near, gathering your tears, holding your hopes, and planting seeds in the hidden soil of your heart. Type 2020 to claim the miracle God has been preparing in the silence. There are seasons that feel like a wilderness, long stretches where you feel forgotten, unseen, left behind. The prayers you speak begin to feel like empty echoes. The things you trusted God for seem further away than ever. But that kind of season is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your roots growing deeper. Because God never leads us into stillness without purpose. He leads us into it so that when the winds come, and they always do, we remain anchored. You have not walked alone. Even when your footsteps felt heavy and your heart was unsure, angels were beside you. Even when you didn't feel worthy, even when shame whispered lies, God was speaking truth over you. Not a single moment of your journey has been missed by heaven. You have been followed by goodness and mercy through it all, even in the places where you could not see it. Especially there. There is no shame in your waiting. There is no weakness in your weariness. God is not disappointed in you. He delights in you. Even now, as you read these words with the quiet ache in your chest, His love surrounds you like a gentle wind. It is not loud. It does not shout. But it never leaves. And it never wavers. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not behind in your calling. You are not disqualified. You are loved, fully, freely, and forever, by a God who has already seen your ending and still chooses you in the middle of your mess. He's not looking for perfection. He's looking for your heart. And if all you can offer today is a quiet yes through your tears, that is enough. You've carried burdens that no one else could see. You've smiled through pain and encouraged others while your own soul was bleeding. And still, here you are, reading these words, open to hope, willing to believe again. That says everything. That is faith. Not loud. Not flashy. But real. Deep. Sacred. Type 222 if you believe God is still writing your story, even now. You see, the things that were blocked from your life didn't pass by because you weren't good enough. They were blocked because God was guarding your future. Some doors were shut not as punishment, but as protection. Some relationships faded not to break your heart, but to make space for something purer. Some opportunities disappeared because God knew what waited behind them, and He refused to let harm reach His beloved child. What He's opening now won't require you to beg, chase, or prove yourself. What He's giving you will feel like rest. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. This is the one moment that can rewrite your future, but only if you claim it now, because hesitation will only keep you chained to the same struggles. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. There's a beauty coming to your life that will not be loud, but it will be unmistakable. People may not understand your journey. They may not know what it cost you to still believe. But God does. And He is the one lifting you now, not through chaos, not through struggle, but through peace that surpasses all understanding. Peace that walks into your spirit and says, "It's safe now. You can stop striving. You can trust me." You are stepping into a place where the striving ends and surrender begins. Where the pressure lifts and the presence of God becomes your comfort. Where the old weight falls off and you remember who you are, not who the world tried to make you, but who heaven already sees. God has not missed His timing in your life. He is not late. He is not pacing the floor, trying to figure out how to bless you. His plan has always included the exact moment your heart would finally understand how much it's loved. And when that happens, when you finally believe it, you will walk lighter, freer, stronger. Not because the pain never happened, but because it no longer defines you. He is making all things new. Not just around you, but within you. That anxiety that kept you awake, He's calming it. That fear that gripped your voice, He's replacing it with boldness. That shame that haunted your past, He's erasing it with grace. And the dreams that once felt dead, He's breathing life back into them, not as they were, but as they were always meant to be. You are not too late to begin again. You are not too damaged to be used by God. He uses broken things to show the world His beauty. He uses forgotten people to show the world His faithfulness. And He's using your life, not once it's perfect, but as it is right now, to reveal His love in ways only your story can. So breathe deeply. Let the tears fall if they need to. Let the walls come down. Let your heart be soft again. This is holy ground, not because everything around you is perfect, but because God is near. And where He is, there is healing. There is hope. There is love that never ends. They were sacred preparations for a door only heaven could open. And now, the same God who allowed the waiting is calling out to your soul, saying, "Come and see. This was always yours." Type 1111 if you trust in God's perfect timing, even when you don't understand it. There is something holy in the quiet persistence you've shown. You didn't quit, even when you were tired of hoping. You didn't turn bitter, even when it hurt to stay soft. You didn't close your heart to God, even when He felt silent. That kind of faith isn't ordinary. That kind of faith changes everything. You've been sowing in tears for a long time, but now the time is coming when you will reap in joy, not because the pain didn't happen, but because grace always wins. You might not feel ready. You might still feel bruised by the things you went through. But readiness in God's eyes has nothing to do with perfection. It has everything to do with surrender. And the fact that you're still standing, still believing, still willing to open your heart again, that's more than enough. God isn't looking for people who have it all figured out. He's looking for hearts that are willing to be held, guided, and loved through it all. This moment isn't random. It was written for you long before you ever knew it existed. And though it may have taken longer than you thought, what's coming will feel so right, you'll forget the timeline you once feared. You'll feel the weight begin to lift. The ache will ease. And the quiet joy of God's presence will settle deep in your bones, whispering, "You made it." Not because of your strength, but because of mine. You are not who you were a year ago, or even a month ago. The trials have shaped you, yes, but God has refined you through them. You are more aware now, more present, more grounded in truth. You've come to know that peace doesn't always mean the storm is gone, it means your soul is anchored, no matter what surrounds you. That kind of peace is unshakable. That kind of peace is from Christ. There is a rhythm to God's love that doesn't rush you. It invites you. It takes your hand and walks beside you. It doesn't demand you to be fixed to be worthy, it already knows you're worthy because you were formed by love itself. And that love is calling you deeper now. Not into pressure, but into presence. Not into striving, but into stillness. Not into fear, but into faith. Type yes to affirm your heart is open to what God is unfolding now. The things you thought would destroy you have become the very places where heaven has touched your life. The prayers you whispered in desperation are returning now, not only with answers, but with comfort. The doors you cried in front of are not the only ones God has. And the blessings you lost were never greater than the ones He still plans to place in your hands. You may not have seen the progress, but it was there. Every time you chose to forgive. Every time you chose to stay soft instead of hard. Every time you said, God, I don't understand, but I still trust you. That is progress. That is healing. And that is the kind of spiritual growth that changes lives forever. It's okay to still feel fragile. It's okay if you don't have it all together. You're learning how to live again, but this time without the fear that used to follow you. You're learning how to hope again, but now with a deeper wisdom in your heart. You're walking forward, not because everything is fixed, but because you've realized you were never alone to begin with. And now, every step is sacred. What if the missing piece to financial success wasn't luck, but a hidden frequency inside your brain waiting to be switched on? Once activated, this ancient signal unleashes waves of prosperity, opening doors to opportunities you never thought possible. From sudden windfalls to long-awaited breakthroughs, it's transforming lives daily. Want to see how? Click the link in the video description and comments below to tap into the Money Magnet brainwave and begin your journey today. Others are already awakening this hidden signal and watching their lives transform. Do not be the one left behind while abundance passes you by. Let the weight fall off your shoulders. Let go of the pressure to be everything for everyone. God never asked that of you. He asked you to be close to Him. To let Him lead. To rest in Him. And that's where the real healing comes from, not doing more, but letting go more. Not proving anything, but accepting that being loved is enough.